Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the official YouTube channel of Office Surrey 24/7 and welcome to the session 50 days, 50 classes. As you know, your JIB exam is on October 2020, is in October 2023, and the first paper will be at 8th of October. The second paper will be on 14th of October. And the second paper of yours is PP. Every day we are discussing in the 50 days, 50 classes about the particular chapter of your PP. So as we know, those candidates who are new in this particular session, I will let you know what we are actually doing in the 50 days, 50 classes. We are having each topic in one day session. On the particular topic, we are discussing MCQ with the explanation, so that you will be able to revise the content, or if you haven't completed the chapter yet, studying the chapter yet, then you will have the idea what actually the chapter covers. So this will be available in these session of your, okay. So as we know, there are 55 units in your PPB syllabus. There are 4 modules. Every subject of your JIB have 4 modules. In which PPB also have the 4 module. In the PPB, there are total 55 units. Out of 55 units, 21 units are in the module A. And today we are going to discuss about the 18th unit, that's the duty and rights of a banker and a customer. So if you remember, we have discussed banker-customer relationship, in which agent, principal, trustee relationship, beller-belly relationship, creditor, debtor, debtor-creditor, these kind, lessor, lessee, these kind of relationship we have discussed. Then we have a banker-customer, banker-special relationship, in which we have discussed line, we have discussed right of setup, we have discussed right of appropriation, we have discussed power of attorney. These are the special. When it comes to the duties, the bank have a certain duty to be performed for the customer. The duties and right of a banker and the customer also have a certain liability towards its bank. It's not like that always it's a liability of a bank towards the customer. Customer also have a liability towards the bank, है ना? So all that duties, all that rights of the banker and the customer rights we are going to cover in this particular unit. Clear? So let's start. The first question is talking about here, which of the following is not a key commitment under the BCBI Code of Banks Commitment to Customer? Right, we are talking about which of the following is not a key commitment under the BCBI Code of Banks Commitment. So we have certain points here. Out of that, which of the following is not a key commitment that you have to tell? To help customer use their account or service, to sanction loan facility as per customer request, to deal quickly and sympathetically with things that go wrong, to publicize the code. So what do you think, which of the following is not a key commitment under the BCBI Code of Banks Commitment to Customer? So to help customer use their account or service, this is the what we can say, this is the commitment that bank have towards the customer. They have to help customer to use their account and the services they are taking from the bank. Third is to deal quickly and sympathetically with the things that go wrong. Obviously, if something went wrong, if customer has faced a certain loss or problem, you have to help out the customer. Publicize the code, this is true, but to sanction loan facility as per customers request, this is not a commitment of a bank. The bank will sanction the loan as per the criteria of the bank, as after checking the KYC, after checking the credit history, after checking the collateral, everything. Then bank will decide what amount of loan will be sanctioned. The right answer will be B option. Okay, right answer is B. Now next question is talking about which of the following are the part of basic duties of a bank towards customer? So which of the following are the part of basic of a bank towards the customer? So bank have a certain duties, certain responsibilities toward the customer. Out of these 4, which of the following is the duty of a bank? So first we have duty of secrecy and confidentiality. Second, duty of reasonable care. Third, dealing with garnish or attachment order. Fourth, all of the above. So out of these particular duties, which of the following duty is the basic duty of a bank towards the customer? So bank have a duty of secrecy and confidentiality, is it? Yes, it's true. Now it has been said to the bank you can't share the information of the customer with the third party until and unless customer allows you to do so, or until and unless law says so. Let's say, for example, a certain case came up against your customer and the government or the police department or the CBI or something, income tax officers, they are asking for a detail about the customer. In that situation, you have to share the information of the customer. So after certain exceptional cases are there, in case of your legality formalities, you have to share the information about the customer, otherwise no. So this is actually the duty of a bank of secrecy and confidentiality about the customer information. Okay, now duty of reasonable care. Obviously, this is also a duty of a bank to have a reasonable care in context to the customer. Dealing with the garnish order or attachment order, this is also a duty of a bank. Having or following the garnish order, attachment order, this is the duty of a bank. Garnish order will be given by the court. Attachment order will be given by the authority, like income tax officer, revenue officer, etc. But both have to be dealt by the bank as per the order have been received. Okay, so all are the basic duties of a bank towards the customer that bank have to follow or bank have to complete this responsibility. So right answer is D, all of the above. Now, next question we have, the loan account of Mr. X are overdrawn. Which of the following steps is not appropriate to be? So Mr. X has an account in a bank, or that account have been overdrawn. Like as per the limit, you have overdrawn the amount of money from the Mr. X account. So what can be, which of the following cannot be the appropriate step? First, the bank's lawyer issues a legal notice containing various details of the loan account. Second, the bank discusses the matter with the guarantor with complete details of the loan account. Third, the bank informs the status of the account to CIBIL. Fourth, the bank contacts a firm that provide informally recovery services and the service and gives the details to them. So out of these four situations, which of the following is not a right step to be taken? Which of the following is correct? So it is not appropriate step. First, the bank's lawyer issue a legal notice containing various details of a loan account. This is a appropriate step. Now, after seeing the overdrawn limit, you have to issue a legal notice. This is true. The bank discusses the matter with the guarantor with complete details of the loan account. This is also true. After facing the overdrawn condition, you have to talk about with the guarantor about that. The bank informs the status of the account to CIBIL. This is also true. CIBIL is what? Credit Information Bureau of India Limited, that gives the rating to the customer on the basis of their credit card repayment and loan repayment condition. So CIBIL provide 3-digit rating to the customer, and it has a highest, or not highest, but the biggest customer base, because it provides rating to individual customer like me, like you, like any other person. It provides rating to these individual person. That's why it has a biggest customer base. Now it also started providing commercial rating. It also provide rating to the corporates. Okay, earlier it used to provide rating to the individual persons only, but now it is also providing rating to the commercial. Okay, so bank informed the status of the account to the CIBIL, obviously, so that if the customer went to another bank and asking for a loan, so CIBIL will be there to inform the bank that this customer has default, have done default or certain thing with the another bank, so that the CIBIL, the another bank will not approve the loan of a customer. This is also a right step. So the bank contacts a firm that provide informally recovery service and gives the details to them. This cannot be done. This is not a professional way to overcome this issue of overdrawn amount in the loan account. Okay, so the right answer will be D option. It is not an appropriate step that can be taken by the bank. You can't do that informally. You have to follow the formal rules. You have to follow the rules, regulation, guidelines, and a standard norm. Okay, next question. Now, bank customer relationship is what? It's a contractual relationship. Obviously, bank customer relationship is a contractual relationship between two parties, and it may be terminated by which of the following ways. So every time bank and customer is having a relation, that's a contractual relationship between bank and customer. Contractual relationship simply means bank and customer have become the partner of each other in performing a certain service, in performing a certain service or product, financial product and services, and they are helping each other in their requirements. So they have been created a contract among them, and accordingly they are working together. If you want to terminate, the termination of the contractual relationship between a bank and a customer can be done in which condition? In which ways it can be done? So first we have voluntary termination, death of customer, insanity of the customer, garnish order, bankruptcy of a customer, liquidation of a company. So in which of the condition the termination will be done of contractual relationship between a bank and a customer? Only 2, 4 and 5, only 1, all except 3 and 4, all. Let me know which of the following is correct. A, B, C or D. So when it comes to the termination condition, so the first one is definitely right. The voluntary termination is allowed. Like when customer giving a certain written request to the bank that I want to close my account, I want to close the relation, then it will be done. So on the basis of voluntary termination, it is allowed. Okay. Now, apart from that, the second way is termination of this contractual relationship between a banker and customer. The termination will be done by law. By law. The termination will be done by law. Okay, and termination, if done by law, it will be done in case of death of customer, in case of insanity of the customer, in case of garnish order, in case of bankruptcy of a customer, and liquidation of a company. All these will be the part of termination of by law. So there are two ways only. The first one is voluntary termination and the second one is termination by law. Okay, and the termination of law will cover all these activities. So the right answer will be here D. All are the ways by which the termination of the contractual relationship between the bank and a customer can be done. The right answer is D. Next. Next question we are talking about. In case of customer grievance redressal, every member is required to have dash. So customer grievance redressal portal should be there in each and every services you are providing, not only in banking services, also in the another services. So first, in case of customer grievance redressal policy, every member required to have what? To have a help desk helpline at the branch, to have a code compliance officer at each controlling office above the level of the branch, to have display at each branch name and contact number of the code compliance officer, and to have display name and address of the ombudsman. So which of the following is correct? A, B, C or D? Which of the following is correct? So it's obviously every member have to have a help desk and helpline number at the branch. Every member have to have a code compliance officer at each controlling office that is above the branch level. Every member have to display each branch the name and contact number of the code compliance officer. every member have to have display name and address of the ombudsman in their branch. So right answer is all. All of these have to be there with the members when they are providing grievance redressal to the customer. Okay, so right answer is D. Now, before moving towards next question, I want to tell you something. A very biggest surprise for your JIB October paper. Now, what is it? I was thinking that I will reveal that surprise only on the day when we are going to have this particular thing. But now, as you know, if you are having a certain secret, you have to make it out. Hai na? So I'm not revealing everything here right now, but it's a very we can say it's a very helpful thing that we are going to have on 9th of September, only on Officers are 24/7. That is definitely going to help you out for your JIB. As you can see, Officers are 24/7 team is coming up with a big surprise for the JIB aspirants. Okay, a very big surprise for the JIB aspirants we are introducing. And to know what is this big surprise, you have to there on 9th of September, the second Saturday at 8 p.m. only on Officers Adda 27 YouTube. Okay, so to know this surprise, you have to be there on second Saturday on 9th of September in the evening at 8 p.m. So do make sure the link of this session will be available in the comment. So click on the comment section and do check the link there and click on the notify me button so that you will not be missing this particular event on Saturday. Okay, so that's a very big surprise, and that surprise is definitely going to help you out for your JIB October preparation because we are working accordingly for you, all of you. Okay, so let's start. Next question. Which of the following is our important obligation of a customer towards his/her bank? Now, the obligation of customer we are talking about towards the bank. And the options we have: to keep the passbook, the checkbook, and the debit card safely, not to allow any third party to use your own bank account for its transaction, to provide the required document and information, including personal information for KYC. And the next one is not to click on any link you receive through emails, SMS, etc. for accessing bank's website. Even if you are going on Google also, on Google there is a fake links of the bank's website. So always do check you are using a secure website of a bank. This is very important. So all these are the points in front of you. So which of the following are the obligation of a customer towards the bank? Okay, so which of the following is correct? Actually, everything is correct. All are the correct statements regarding the customer's obligation towards the bank. It's not like every time there is a mistake from the side of bank. If you got a link by like a UPI link, a lot of people have got, like you have won the reward of 5,000, click on this particular link to get the reward. And people used to click on that. And as you click on that particular link, your UPI account will be empty. So this is the responsibility of the customer to follow these points. Okay, these are the obligation of the customer toward the bank. Now, in which of the following situation is the bank authorized to share information? In which situation bank is authorized to share the information? First, Mrs. B, wife of Mr. A, comes and asks the balance in his savings account in a single name. So the account is on the name of Mr. A, but his wife came to the bank and asking for amount. Second, the balance in a savings bank account is blocked as per the attachment order of the income tax officer under advice of to the customer income tax department. Then Mr. T, the teller, speaks out the balance in the account of Mr. X, who has just withdrawn cash from his account. Then the balance in the savings account of Mr. Y is told to an income tax officer making telephone inquiry. So what do you think? Which of the following situation is the bank authorized to share information about the customer? A, B, C, or D? Which of the following is correct? So, in case of wife ask about the balance in the husband's account, it is not allowed. In case of Mr. T, the teller speaks out the balance in the account of Mr. X, not allowed. The balance in the savings account of Mr. Y is told to an income tax officer making telephonic inquiry. Can't do that. The only permission is given to the bank to share the information of the customer and not somehow violating the rule of secrecy and confidentiality, in which the balance in the savings account of a customer is blocked as per the attachment order you have received from the income tax officer under the advice to the customer and the income tax department. The right answer is your B. Okay. Which of the following are true about BCSBI present state? So, BCSBI is Banking Codes Standard Board of India. So, if we talk about BCSBI, is it working right now? Let me know. BCSBI is working right now or not? So, it is simply the Banking Codes and Standard Board of India. And it is what? It is Banking Codes and Standard Board of India. Is it working right now in the country? Okay. So, you can see here, these are the statements. Out of these, you have to tell which of the following is true. The first one is asking that in February 2019, RBI opined that the function of BCSBI are being handled departmentally and advised the BCSBI to take a step for dissolution. Like it have to be removed from the country. The second we have here, BCSBI has discontinued operation related to the objects of the trust effective from 1st April 2009. Like BCSBI has removed its operation, discontinued its operation from when? From 1st of April 2009. Third, RBI since set up Consumer Education and Protection Department issued the Charter of Customer Rights and considerably strengthened the ombudsman mechanism to enhance the customer protection. So, it was accordingly decided to dissolve the BCSBI. Like if you are resolving the BCSBI, who is going to take care of the frauds or all of the complaints of the customer? So, for that you have to make the ombudsman strong, and that's what RBI did by merging three ombudsman scheme: banking ombudsman, ombudsman scheme for NBFC, and ombudsman scheme for digital transaction. All these three have been merged and single scheme has been introduced that is named as integrated ombudsman scheme. By Reserve Bank of India in 2021. And so we have made the strengthen to the ombudsman mechanism. So which of the following is true? All are true. We have dissolved the BCSBI. In place of BCI, now ombudsman have to take care of everything. And it was dissolved, discontinued from the 1st April 2009. Right answer is D. Right answer is what? D. Next question. It is talking about Mr. Z has availed a clean overdraft from a bank. He has certain fixed deposit with the bank. He also has a safe deposit locker with the banks. Which of the following is the correct position? Which of the following is the correct position? So, first option we have, the bank has general line on only on the fixed deposit. The bank has no line either on the fixed deposit or the content of the safe deposit locker. The bank has general line over both the fixed deposit and also the safe deposit locker content. Then the bank has general line only on the contents of the locker. So, what do you think? Which of the following is correct? A, B, C, or D? So, a line is simply, banker's line is simply when the bank has a right on the collateral until and unless customer repay the loan to the bank. Okay. Now, let me know which of the following is correct. So first of all, the bank has no line either on fixed deposit or the contents of the safe deposit locker. No. The bank has general line over both the fixed and also the deposit locker content. Not possible. The bank has general line only on the content of the locker. No. The bank has general line only on the fixed deposit. The general line. There are two types of line, na? General line and specific line. So the general line has only on the fixed deposit. Okay, so right answer is A. Okay, right answer is what? It is A. Now, the obligation of banks to keep the affairs of their customer secret and confidential arise from dash. First, a specific law for banking secrecy, Banking Regulation Act, contractual relationship, none of the above. So secrecy and confidentiality, obligation of a bank towards the customer. It comes from where? It simply comes from the contractual relationship bank and customer is having. So right answer is, okay, the right answer will be C. So this. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the official YouTube channel of Officers are 24/7. So first of all, let me know how are you all. And those candidates who have joined this session, I want all of you to share this particular session on the Telegram channel, WhatsApp group or Facebook, wherever you know bankers are available who are going to give their JIB October paper. So this session is properly for principles and practices of banking. As you know, Monday to Friday, we are meeting at 7 a.m. for PPB subject of yours, in which every day we are discussing a particular topic on which a certain number of questions will be discussed with the explanation. So this is the session in which we are going to talk about the module A of your PPB and the chapter number 12, that's a payment and collection of check. If I talk about PPB, principles and practices of banking, this particular subject covers 55 units. Out of 55 units, the 21 units are in the first module, that is a module A of your PPB. Clear? That talks about the general banking operation, and all these are the general operations that bank perform in a banks. Okay, banker performs in a bank. So all these we have to going to cover in the module A. So till now 11 chapters we have covered. Now this is the 12th chapter, payment and collection of check and other negotiable instrument. So what we are going to do in this particular session, we are going to discuss the certain number of questions based on this particular chapter with the explanation. Okay, in the end of the session, I will be asking you how many answers you have given correct. So first of all, let's start the session. And I'm your mentor, Amanjot Kaur, for Indian economy, Indian financial system, as well as for principles and practices of banking. So let's start. Before going towards the questions, let's understand what this topic talks about. The payment and collection of checks and the other negotiable instrument. So check is also a negotiable instrument. What is check? Check is also a negotiable instrument. So this is your chapter number 12. Okay. And what is check? Check is also your negotiable instrument. So when I talk about negotiable instrument, what are negotiable instruments? Negotiable instruments are those instruments which can be easily transferred for the purpose of payment. So negotiable instruments are the documents in writing which gives the guarantee to one particular party that your money will be given by the another party on a certain date, either on demand or at the maturity date or whatever the specified date is. On that particular day, you will get your money back, or you will get your money that you have provided service for. This guarantee will be given by the negotiable instrument. So negotiable instrument is simply a transferable instrument which gives guarantee to the party that their money will be transferred by the person who have taken the certain service or taken a certain money from you on a specified date or on a demand. Okay. Now, if I talk about negotiable instrument, Act came in the year 1881. Negotiable Instrument Act 1881 it is. It talks about a lot of things. It talks about all the negotiable instrument as well as it talks about the holidays of a bank. If I talk about Negotiable Instrument Act 1881, Section 13 of Negotiable Instrument Act talks about the negotiable instruments, in which it has said that there are three negotiable instruments: promissory note, bill of exchange, and check. The promissory note is defined under Section 4, bill of exchange is defined under Section 5, and check is defined under Section 6. These are the these promissory note, bill of exchange and checks are the negotiable instrument which you use to make a payment to a certain person. Okay, so you are simply promising the another person that that money will be transferred to that particular person or payment will be done to the particular person on a certain date. But if you want before the date, let's say for example, I have issued a promissory note on your name and I have specified the date that I am going to pay you the money on 30th of August. But you want money on 25th of August, what you can do? You can take that promissory note to the bank and get the discount from the bank. It means on demand and on the maturity period, you will be able to get your money. That's what the negotiable instrument for. Clear? Apart from that, it talks about the check in detail, like what conditions of the check is there, what is CTS, when the bank will be liable, when bank will not be liable, in whose mistake the payment will be done or not, etc. Everything related to the check and promissory note, bill of exchange, everything will be covered here. So this is what the negotiable instrument is. Okay. Now check have three parties mainly: drawer, drawee and payee. Drawer means the person, the maker of a check, the issuer of a check. Drawee means always a bank. What drawee means? Drawee means a bank. And the payee means the receiver of the check. These are the three parties in a check. So let's start with the first question, that discussion we have done about the topic. So first question is talking about Section 131 of Negotiable Instrument Act extends the protection to the dash. So it extends the protection to whom? It extends the protection to collecting bank, to paying bank, to drawee bank or to a negotiating bank. So as I have talked about, it talks about a lot of conditions about the check, like who is liable, who is not. All these conditions will be there in the Negotiable Instrument Act. So this is what we're talking about. Section 131 gives the protection to which of the following bank? Collecting bank, paying bank, drawee bank or a negotiating bank. The right answer will be your collecting bank. It gives the protection against a certain situation to the collecting bank under the Negotiable Instrument Act 1881, Section 131. Okay, so right answer is what? Collecting bank will get the protection against the case. Now, second question is talking about here, where a customer, Section 131 gives the, we have talked that Section 131 gives you the protection to whom? To your collecting banker. But in what condition it is providing the collecting banker your protection? So this is the question that is related to the first question. That question is asking Section 131 of Negotiable Instrument Act gives protection for collection of a dash. It gives protection to collecting bank, that we have seen. It gives protection to the collecting bank. But it gives protection for collection of which of the following instrument? That's the question is asking. And the first option you have bill of exchange, promissory note, negotiable instrument and check. So it provides the protection for which of the following document? So do remember, it gives protection to whom? Collecting banker. In which case? In case of your check. So Section 131 talks about the protection given to the collecting bank for the collection of check. Okay, both the questions are linked to each other, so do remember them. Now, let's move forward to the second question that is talking about here, where a customer by a letter has advised the bank directing the banker not to honor pay a particular check. Such letter is called dash. Letter of credit, stop payment letter, mandate or garnish letter. Which of the following is correct? A, B, C or D? So in which condition, when a customer by a letter has advised the bank and directing the bank that not to honor or pay a particular check, such letter is called letter of credit, stop payment letter or your garnish order or mandate? So right answer is stop payment letter. Okay, so right answer will be stop payment letter. Next, third question. The bill of exchange and check is defined under dash section of Negotiable Instrument Act 1881 respectively. So which of the following is the section of bill of exchange and check under the Negotiable Instrument Act 1881? I have told you that there are three negotiable instruments defined under Section 13 of Negotiable Instrument Act: promissory note, bill of exchange and check. Out of that, we are asking bill of exchange and check is defined under which section? Section 5 and section 6. So right answer will be your C option. So section 5 defines the bill of exchange and section 6 defines the check. So right answer will be your C option. Now, the next question is talking about promissory note is defined under dash section of Negotiable Instrument Act. So, which particular section talks about the promissory note? Section 5 talks about bill of exchange. Section 6 talks about check. And section 4 talks about the promissory note. It talks about what? It talks about the promissory note. So check, you all know, check is simply a type of a bill of exchange which is drawn on the name of a specified person or otherwise on the demand, right? Now, promissory note and bill of exchange are kind of a similar document. They both are documents in writing. They both will have they both will be promising to pay a certain sum of money to a certain person. But there is a difference. Difference is that in the promissory note, two parties will be involved. In bill of exchange, 2 or more than 2 will be included. The next difference is that in the promissory note, there is an unconditional undertaking. Unconditional undertaking. And in case of bill of exchange, there is unconditional. Okay, it will be unconditional order. Now, what is the difference between these? So, promissory note is a negotiable instrument. It's a document in writing not containing an currency note. It gives or it promises to pay a certain sum of money to a certain person or on the order of the bearer. But one thing is very important, that is unconditional undertaking. So, promissory note is a document in writing which contains an unconditional undertaking to pay a certain sum of money to a certain person or on the order of the bearer. Now, what does this unconditional undertaking means? It means no matter what, if you have promised you are going to make payment on 13th of August, you have to make it possible. You can't add any such kind of condition that I will be making your payment, I will be transferring you money, I will be giving you your payment on 30th of August if and only if my money will be approved by the bank, my loan will be approved by the bank, or my further trade payment has been received to me. Then only I will be paying you money on the 30th of August. No such kind of condition you can add. You can't say that I will be paying you money on 30th of August if on that particular date it was raining. So, no such kind of conditions are allowed to make in the promissory note. If you have promised you are going to pay on the 30th of August, that you are taking undertaking that I am responsible, no matter what, I will be paying your money on the 30th of August. This is the unconditional undertaking mean. Two parties will be there. Now, what means unconditional order? It means you are ordering your bank that no matter what, on 30th of August, you have to make this payment to this particular customer. This is known as unconditional order. So, in bill of exchange, you are giving order to your financial institution, and in case of promissory note, you are taking undertaking by yourself. This is the only two differences between promissory note and bill of exchange. Okay. Now, next. So, right answer is A. Next, forged check is all an valid, invalid, dead or stale check. So, question is asking forged check is all an valid, and it can't be a dead check. It can be a stale check. A stale check means when the validity of a check is expired. When the validity of a check is expired, that check is known as your stale check. And the validity of a check is 3 months. If this validity expired, then the check will be stale check. So, it can't be the right, it is the invalid. So, forged check is all an invalid check. Right answer will be B. Next, payment in due course is defined in which section of Negotiable Instrument Act 1881? So, payment in due course is defined under which particular section? You have to answer. Section 4, 5, 10 or 31. Which particular section talks about the payment in due course? So, what actually the payment in due course means? When we talk about payment in due course, it defines like making the payment apparent within the apparent tenure of the instrument. Okay, not etc. Everything related to the check and promissory note, bill of exchange, everything will be covered here. So this is what the negotiable instrument is. Okay, now check have three parties mainly: drawer, drawee, and payee. Drawer means the person, the maker of a check, the issuer of a check. Drawee means always a bank. What drawee means? Drawee means a bank. And the payee means the receiver of the check. These are the three parties in a check. So let's just start with the first question, that discussion we have done about the topic. So first question is talking about Section 131 of Negotiable Instrument Act extends the protection to the dash. So it extends the protection to whom? It extends the protection to collecting bank, to paying bank, to drawee bank, or to a negotiating bank. So as I have talked about, it talks about a lot of conditions about the check, like who is liable, who is not. All these conditions will be there in the Negotiable Instrument Act. So this is what we're talking about. Section 131 gives the protection to which of the following bank? Collecting bank, paying bank, drawee bank, or a negotiating bank. The right answer will be your collecting bank. It gives the protection against a certain situation to the collecting bank under the Negotiable Instrument Act 1881, Section 131. Okay, so right answer is what? Collecting bank will get the protection against the case. Now, second question is talking about here, where a customer, Section 131 gives the, we have talked that Section 131 gives you the protection to whom? To your collecting banker. But in what condition it is providing the collecting banker your protection? So this is the question that is related to the first question. That question is asking Section 131 of Negotiable Instrument Act gives protection for collection of a dash. It gives protection to collecting bank, that we have seen. It gives protection to the collecting bank, but it gives protection for collection of which of the following instrument? That's the question is asking. And the first option you have bill of exchange, promissory note, negotiable instrument, and check. So it provides the protection for which of the following document? So do remember, it gives protection to whom? Collecting banker. In which case? In case of your check. So Section 131 talks about the protection given to the collecting bank for the collection of check. Okay, both the questions are linked to each other, so do remember them. Now, let's move forward to the second question that is talking about here, where a customer by a letter has advised the bank directing the banker not to honor pay a particular check. Such letter is called dash. Letter of credit, stop payment letter, mandate, or garnish letter. Which of the following is correct? A, B, C, or D? So in which condition, when a customer by a letter has advised the bank and directing the bank that not to honor or pay a particular check, such letter is called letter of credit, stop payment letter, or your garnish order or mandate? So right answer is stop payment letter. Okay, so right answer will be stop payment letter. Next, third question. The bill of exchange and check is defined under dash section of Negotiable Instrument Act 1881 respectively. So which of the following is the section of bill of exchange and check under the Negotiable Instrument Act 1881? I have told you that there are three negotiable instruments defined under Section 13 of Negotiable Instrument Act: promissory note, bill of exchange, and check. Out of that, we are asking bill of exchange and check is defined under which section? Section 5 and Section 6. So right answer will be your C option. So Section 5 defines the bill of exchange and Section 6 defines the check. So right answer will be your C option. Now, the next question is talking about promissory note is defined under dash section of Negotiable Instrument Act. So, which particular section talks about the promissory note? Section 5 talks about bill of exchange. Section 6 talks about check. And Section 4 talks about the promissory note. It talks about what? It talks about the promissory note. So check, you all know, check is simply a type of a bill of exchange which is drawn on the name of a specified person or otherwise on the demand, right? Now, promissory note and bill of exchange are kind of a similar document. They both are documents in writing. They both will have they both will be promising to pay a certain sum of money to a certain person. But there is a difference. Difference is that in the promissory note, two parties will be involved. In bill of exchange, two or more than two will be included. The next difference is that in the promissory note, there is an unconditional undertaking. Unconditional undertaking. And in case of bill of exchange, there is unconditional. Okay, it will be unconditional order. Now, what is the difference between these? The promissory note is a negotiable instrument. It's a document in writing not containing an currency note. It gives or it promises to pay a certain sum of money to a certain person or on the order of the bearer. But one thing is very important, that is unconditional undertaking. The promissory note is a document in writing which contains an unconditional undertaking to pay a certain sum of money to a certain person or on the order of the bearer. Now, what does this unconditional undertaking mean? It means no matter what, if you have promised you are going to make payment on 13th of August, you have to make it possible. You can't add any such kind of condition that I will be making your payment, I will be transferring you money, I will be giving you your payment on 30th of August if and only if my money will be approved by the bank, my loan will be approved by the bank, or my further trade payment has been received to me. Then only I will be paying you money on the 30th of August. No such kind of condition you can add. You can't say that I will be paying you money on 30th of August if on that particular date it was raining. So no such kind of conditions are allowed to make in the promissory note. If you have promised you are going to pay on the 30th of August, that you are taking undertaking that I am responsible, no matter what, I will be paying your money on the 30th of August. This is the unconditional undertaking. Two parties will be there. Now, what means unconditional order? It means you are ordering your bank that no matter what, on 30th of August, you have to make this payment to this particular customer. This is known as unconditional order. So, in bill of exchange, you are giving order to your financial institution, and in case of promissory note, you are taking undertaking by yourself. This is the only two differences between promissory note and bill of exchange. Okay. Now, next. So, right answer is A. Next, forged check is all an valid, invalid, dead or stale check. So, question is asking forged check is all an valid, it can't be a dead check. It can be a stale check. A stale check means when the validity of a check is expired. When the validity of a check is expired, that check is known as your stale check. And the validity of a check is 3 months. If this validity expired, then the check will be stale check. So, it can't be the right, it is the invalid. So, forged check is all an invalid check. Right answer will be B. Next, payment in due course is defined in which section of Negotiable Instrument Act 1881? So, payment in due course is defined under which particular section? You have to answer. Section 4, 5, 10 or 31. Which particular section talks about the payment in due course? So, what actually the payment in due course means? When we talk about payment in due course, it defines like making the payment apparent within the apparent tenure of the instrument. Okay, in a good faith and without negligence of to any person in possession, so thereof under circumstances which do not afford a reasonable ground for believing that it is not entitled to receive payment of amount therein mentioned. So, payment in due course means simply the payment in accordance with the apparent tenure. Like I have told you, check has a validity of 3 months. So, when you are making the payment of a document available on an apparent tenure, that is the payment in due course. Okay, that will be known as what? That will be known as your payment in due course. It cannot be defined under 4 or 5 because we have said promissory note and bill of exchange is there. It can be C or D only. So, right answer is C. In the section 10, it talks about the payment in due course. Okay. Now, next question. A check favoring Mr. Rajkumar or order is stolen. The thief endorsed the check as a Rajkumar in his favor. The check is presented in clearing and paid by the JAIIB bank. The true owner later on sent legal notice to the bank. What is the liability of the bank? In this case, this is a kind of case study. है ना? What will be the liability of a bank? So first is saying the paying bank will get protection under Negotiable Instrument Act. Second is saying a forgery does not give any rights to the paying bank, hence it's liable. As per Section 85 of NI Act, the paying bank is liable. As per Section 131 of Negotiable Instrument Act, paying bank is liable. So we are saying the check favoring Mr. Rajkumar or order is stolen. And the thief endorsed the check. Thief have done what? Endorsement. He transferred check as Rajkumar in his favor. It means he have done the forged signature of the Rajkumar. No? That's why he was able to endorse the check. So check is presented in clearing and it was paid by the JAIIB bank. The bank has made the payment to Mr. person who has taken the check, who was the thief. So in that situation, the bank will be liable or not? In this situation, the paying bank will get protection under the NI Act. The bank will get protection under the NI Act because it was stolen and then it was endorsed. So right answer will be A. Now, banks slip prima facie evidence of certain facts as per dash section of NI Act 81. And we have a section number 145, 146, 147, 148. So under which section we are talking about this? So banks slip prima facie evidence of certain facts as per your dash section of Negotiable Instrument Act. First of all, it means what? It means the evidence of complaint may be given on affidavit and that is subject to all just exceptions be read in evidence in case of any inquiry. So or the trial if happens, or other proceedings if happens. So the court shall on production of the bank slip or memo with the official mark that denoting that the check has been dishonored or presume the fact of dishonor of such check unless it is disproved. So that will means the bank slip prima facie evidence of certain facts and it is defined under the section 146 of Negotiable Instrument Act 1881. So the right answer will be your B option. Next. Crossing of a check is defined in which section of Negotiable Instrument Act 1881? So crossing of check will be of three types. Okay, the crossing of check will be of three types. So the sections are there 123, 124, 125, both A and B. Which of the following is correct? If I talk about the crossing, there are three types of crossing. We have a general crossing, okay, in which you will find this is your check. On the left side top, two parallel lines will be there. Then we have account pay crossing. In the two parallel lines, left top it will be written account pay. And the third special crossing at the left side of the top of the check, two parallel lines will be there. It will be written account pay and the name of a particular bank. These three types of crossing will be there: general crossing, account pay crossing, special crossing. Okay. So it is defined under which particular section? It is defined under both section A and B. It means 123 and 124. So section 123, 124 deals with two types of crossing, that is general crossing and special crossing. Good morning everyone, welcome to the official YouTube channel of Officers Adda 24/7. How are you all? So let's start the session, and as you know, we are having these sessions regularly on Officers Adda 24/7, but those candidates who are new to the channel, I will let you know that on Monday to Friday on Officers Adda 24/7 in the morning at 7 AM, we are having a PPB session that is 50 days, 50 classes. Okay. And if I talk about this particular series, in this series what we are doing, we are discussing the number of questions with the detailed explanation of your each and every chapter of your PPB. Okay, and these sessions going on from Monday to Friday. So what happened on Saturday and Sunday? On Saturday we are having a weekly revision session. On Sunday we are having a special sessions, like last Sunday I have taken a mini marathon. So do make sure you are joining all these sessions, because all these sessions, trust me, is going to help you in your paper. So to join these session, you have to subscribe the channel Officers Adda 24/7, as well as you have to do what? You have to click the bell icon also, so that all the sessions notification will be given to you. Okay, so let's start the session. And in this particular session, we are going to discuss the chapter number of your 19 of module A, that is Grievance Redressal and RBI Integrated Ombudsman Scheme 2021. So as we know, if we talk about the banking sector is a service sector. Hana, you all are working in a service sector, you are providing services to the customer. And when you are providing services to the customer, and the market is a customer oriented market. Earlier used to happen, like market used to be seller oriented market, but now we have a market that's a customer oriented market. And the customer oriented market will definitely be successful if you satisfy the needs of the customer. Otherwise, no. So to fulfill the need of the customer, to satisfy the needs of the customer, to have a goodwill in the customer's mind, and to have a positive word of mouth from the side of the customer, you have to provide better services to the customer. So if, let's say, you are providing better financial product and services to the customer, but somehow that are not reaching to the customer because of your staff, because of any other issues. So for that, you have to provide a certain portal to the customer, a certain platform to the customer, in which customer can ask their queries. Customer can complain about the problems they are facing in a bank, with the bank. Okay, so this is what the unit 19 is all about, Grievance Redressal and the RBI's Integrated Ombudsman Scheme. So what used to happen now, RBI has introduced the Banking Ombudsman Scheme in 1995. Then RBI introduced Ombudsman Scheme for non-banking financial companies in 18. Then RBI introduced Ombudsman Scheme for digital transactions in 2019. And these three Ombudsman scheme used to be there, that was providing the services to the customer related to what? Related to the problems or the difficulties customer facing while transacting with the digital transaction or with the bank or with the NBFC. So these three Ombudsman scheme used to be there. They all have been merged together by RBI, and it have created Integrated Ombudsman Scheme in 2021. In which year? In 2021. So all the three schemes have been merged, and now we have only single one scheme, that is Integrated Ombudsman Scheme. Okay, so this is what we have to understand, or we have to study in this particular chapter with the form of MCQ. Okay, so let's start with the first question here. First question is asking, as on the date, how many banking ombudsmen have been appointed? Till now, how many banking ombudsmen have been appointed? So this banking ombudsman was introduced in the year 1995 under your what we can say, under your Banking Regulation Act. Banking Regulation Act section 35A talks about what? Hana, it talks about your simply problems the customer are facing here. So Banking Regulation Act section 35A has introduced the Banking Ombudsman Scheme in 1995. It was reintroduced in 2002 and 2006 also. Okay, so here you have to answer how many banking ombudsmen have been appointed as on the date. Is it 10, is it 22, is it 19, or is it 28? Let me know which of the following is correct. Which of the following is correct? A, B, C, or D? So the right answer here is actually 22. How many banking ombudsmen have been appointed? 22 banking ombudsmen have been appointed. So right answer will be B. The banking ombudsman used to have its headquarters in New Delhi. Now the Integrated Ombudsman Scheme have headquarters in New Delhi. Okay, in the banking ombudsman, there used to be a jurisdiction. Like if you want to complain about a bank, you have to check in at what location your branch comes in, at what jurisdiction your branch comes in. Accordingly, you will be able to complain in that office. Hana, now in the Integrated Ombudsman Scheme, this kind of problem of your jurisdiction have been removed. Clear? Now, Dash acts as the internal ombudsman of a bank. So which of the following acts as an internal ombudsman of bank? Is it Chief Compliance Officer, Chief Customer Service Officer, Chief Risk Officer, Head Internal Officer? Which of the following is correct? Who acts here as the internal ombudsman of a bank? A, B, C or D. So as the name suggests, internal ombudsman, you are providing services to the customer for their complaints. So it will be what? Chief Customer Service Officer. It is the Chief Customer Service Officer which behave or which act as the internal ombudsman of a bank. So right answer is your B. Okay, next. The next question is talking about the ombudsman is required to maintain confidentiality of information or the document that is coming to its knowledge and any sharing to be only in which of the following situation. So question is asking, the ombudsman is required to maintain the confidentiality, like you cannot share the information of the customer or the information or the document that is coming to its knowledge. So any sharing to be only in which of the following situation? Like any kind of sharing will be allowed to the ombudsman, but in which of the following situation? First, when required by law. Second, when consent of the person providing these. Third, when the parties are required to disclose to each other for natural justice and fair play, and all of the above. So it is not allowed, like the banks are not allowed to share the information of their customer with anyone. Confidentiality and the security feature is there in the bank and banking ombudsman. So here the detail will be shared, information will be shared, but in which condition? In all of these conditions. If the law required, you have to share the data. If the consent of the person you have taken, then you can share the data. And when the party have to disclose to each other for the natural justice and the fair play, then they have to release the data. So this is the right answer, that is the D option. Okay, otherwise apart from these cases, you are not allowed to share the information. Now, banks are required to appoint the principal nodal officer under the ombudsman scheme. All scheduled commercial banks with more than dash outlets except RRBs have appointed Chief Customer Service Officer as per RBI instruction. Who acts as the internal ombudsman for the banks? That we have seen, like who acts as the internal ombudsman for the bank? The Chief Customer Service Officer do that. है ना? So here banks have to appoint the principal nodal officer under the ombudsman scheme. All scheduled commercial bank have to do that except RRBs. RRB cannot do that. Public sector bank, private sector bank, foreign bank, payment bank, small finance bank, all are allowed to do that, but not the RRBs. Okay, how many outlets, more than what outlets have to be there with the scheduled commercial bank so that they can appoint the principal nodal officer? Is it 20, 10, 11 or 5? 20, 10, 11 or 5? And the right answer is 10. Those commercial banks which have 10 or more than 10 outlets, with more than 10 outlets, they can have appointed Chief Customer Service Officer as per RBI instruction. And they can have the principal nodal officer also. Okay, so right answer is B option, that is the 10 option, 10 number. Okay, now next. The compliant should give a letter accepting the award in full and final settlement to the regulated entity within dash of receiving the award copy unless she has filed an appeal. So question is asking that the complainant should give a letter accepting the award. Like the award that banking, the decision which banking ombudsman is giving, or I can say the decision which integrated ombudsman is giving nowadays, that decision is known as award. So when integrated ombudsman have given you the award, the party, the complainant should have to give a letter of acceptance. Like this award have been given by integrated ombudsman and we are accepting it in full and final settlement to the regulated entity. Okay, within dash of receiving the award copy, unless she has filed an appeal. Like for example, the integrated ombudsman have given its decision and I am not satisfied with that decision. I am not satisfied with this decision. So I have appealed to the higher authority, that is the executive director of RBI. Now, earlier it used to be the deputy governor. So if I have appealed for, if I have filed an appeal for the further inspection or further resolution, then I do not have to give the letter acceptance. But if I am not applying for further inspection, then I have to give the letter accepting the award within how many days? Within 20 days, within 45 days, within 30 days, or none of the above. Within how many days I have to give it? Otherwise, if I am not giving the acceptance, they will be taking it as automatically accepted award. And then if you are having any problem with the award, you won't be able to raise complaint. So within how many days? Within 30 days, you have to give the letter acceptance. From the day the integrated ombudsman have given you the award amount. Okay. So right answer is 30 days. That is C option. Next. Compensation for loss of time, expenses incurred, harassment and mental anguish suffered up to the ceiling of lakh will be provided. So what amount of compensation will be provided in what case? In case of loss of time, in case of expenses incurred, in case of harassment and mental anguish suffered, up to of the ceiling of lakh will be provided, 1, 5, 2 or 10. What amount will be provided of compensation in these cases? One, 5, 2 or 10. And the compensation amount in this case will be your 1 lakh. Okay, how much amount of compensation will be given? 1 lakh compensation will be given in any of these cases. Okay, next. Next we have banks are required to have principal nodal officer at the Banks have what? Banks are required to have principal nodal officer at the First, branches, regional office, zonal office, head office. A, B, C or D. Banks are required to have principal nodal officer at the branches, regional offices, zonal offices or head offices. So this principal nodal officer banks have to have at their head offices. Where they have to have the principal nodal officer, they have to have the principal nodal officer at the head office of the bank. So the right answer will be your D option. Okay, right answer is D option. Next. Which of the following are correct about the procedure for filing the complaint? If you are filing a complaint against a bank, what is the procedure you have to follow to file the complaint? And the options we have: a person having a grievance may himself or through his authorized representative, other than an advocate, they can file the complaint. The second case we have file a complaint with CRPC through what? Online portal, that's the RBI portal, or electronic mode by doing mail, or physical mode by post or courier or hand delivery. Okay, or both A and B, none of the above. So what is the procedure for filing the complaint? And it is the same thing that if a customer is facing any kind of problem, first the customer have to complain to the home branch, and customer have to give 30 days to the home branch to resolve the solution or to provide the solution. If within 30 days the home branch is not providing the service, not providing the solution, then the customer can go to the integrated ombudsman. That condition is same right now also. Okay, and the procedure for filing the complaint is correct, that is both A and B. You can have a grievance may himself through or his authorized representative. Or second, you can file a complaint with the CRPC, that is with the online portal, with the help of electronic mode, with the help of physical mode. These are the ways where you can perform the complaint procedure. And the services or the solution will be provided free of cost by the integrated ombudsman. No charges will be taken for the solution. So right answer is C, both A and B. Next, which of these modes of complaint to the bank will be not adequate for filing a complaint with the ombudsman? So the question is asking which of these modes of complaint to be bank will not be adequate for filing a complaint with the ombudsman. The first we have dropping in complaint box. Second, through email or to the specified ID. Third, through website on the link is specified. Fourth, submitting at the branch with acknowledgement. So which of the following is not a adequate way of filing complaint to the ombudsman? A, B, C or D? Hannah, do remember, will not be adequate for filing complaint to the banking ombudsman. And the right answer is dropping in complaint box. Hannah, you are dropping your complaint in the complaint box that have not been taken adequate for filing the complaint with the ombudsman. So right answer is A. Right answer of yours will be A option. Okay. Now, next question we have. Which of the following are correct about the integrated ombudsman scheme? First, I have told you integrated ombudsman scheme have been created by merging the three schemes. First, we have what? We have that banking ombudsman 1995. Second, ombudsman scheme for non-banking financial companies 2008. Ombudsman scheme for digital transaction 2019. They all have been merged. Then the integrated ombudsman scheme 2021 was introduced. Okay. Now, first, it provides cost-free redress of customer complaint. Second, the scheme also includes under its ambit non-scheduled primary cooperative banks with a deposit size of 50 crore and above. Then the scheme adopts one nation, one ombudsman approach. So, which of the following is the correct about integrated ombudsman scheme? A, B, C or D? Which of the following is correct? So, I have told you it provides you the free of cost service. This is correct. And it also includes now your primary cooperative bank. Scheduled primary cooperative banks are included under the scheme with the deposit size of 50 crore and above. And the scheme adopts one nation, one ombudsman approach also. Okay, so here the right answer for this particular question will be all of the above. All of the above are right option here. Okay, all are the correct about integrated ombudsman scheme. So right option will be D option. Good morning everyone, welcome to Offices at 24/7. How are you all? So welcome to the channel, and as you know, every day, it means Monday to Friday, we are meeting at 7 AM only on Offices at 24/7 for your PPB session, that is Principles and Practices of Banking. So in this particular session, 50 days, 50 classes, every day we are discussing one particular unit of your subject in which we are discussing MCQ with the detailed explanation so that you will know whatever you have studied in your paid batches or conceptual classes or with the help of book, that concept you are able to apply or not. You remember that concept or not? So this is a kind of a practice session for all of you. So let's just start. But before starting your session, I am your mentor Amanjot Kaur for Indian economy, Indian financial system, as well as for principles and practices of banking. So let's just start the session. In this particular session, we are going to cover module A, second last unit, that is the Consumer Protection Act 2019. So COPRA Act we are going to discuss today. So what this act is, what questions can be asked from this particular chapter. So let us start with the first question, that is talking about State Consumer Protection Act. Sorry, State Consumer Protection Council, State Council meets at least dash times in a year. So in a particular 1 year, how many times this particular council meets, that you have to answer. The options you have for 1 times, 2 times, 3 times or 4 times. So how many times the State Consumer Protection Council meets at least in a financial year, in a year. So which of the following is correct? So if I talk about a State Consumer Protection Council, so the state government established a State Consumer Protection Council. Who established this? The state government established this council. Hannah, who have established this? The state government established this. So this State Consumer Protection Council has official and non-official member that represent the prescribed interest, other official and non-official members. Okay, so if I talk about maximum 10 in this council, maximum 10 and minister in charge of the consumer affairs, state government will be there in this particular council. Okay, so state government as the chairman will be there, and it meets as and when it is necessary, but at least how many times? At least 2 times a year it is mandatory to meet. So this council meets whenever it is required, but at least 2 times in a year it meets definitely. So right answer is your 2 times. Okay, and this council have been created by your state government. So right answer will be your B option. Clear? So State Consumer Protection Council, that is State Council, meets at least 2 times in a financial year. Okay, apart from that, we also have a District Consumer Protection Council. The District Consumer Protection Council also meet 2 times every year. The State Consumer Protection, District Consumer Protection, both meets at least 2 times in a year, and whenever it is required, they are going to meet at that time also. Now, what are the silent feature? The silent feature aspects included in CPA Act 2019 are. So, which of the following are the silent new aspects which has been included in the CPA Act 2019? Okay, so we have first, it defines specifically consumer rights. Second, it adds features of unfair contract. Third, it introduces product liability action. And the fourth one we have, it define design and include related aspect. So these are the silent features option have been given. Out of 4, which of the following is correct about this the new aspect included in the CPA Act 2019? So CPA is a Consumer Protection Act. Okay, and the right answer is all of the above. All of the above are the silent features of Act. It defines specifically consumer rights. It adds a feature of unfair contract. It introduces product liability action. It defines design and include the related aspects here. So simply these all are your silent aspects of the Act. Apart from that, it also includes your advertisement. It will also include advertising. It also include endorsement. Endorsement will also be the silent feature. Okay, apart from that, it adds the express warranty parameter here also. Express warranty parameter was also included here. Okay, or apart from that, it also include e-commerce. It also include your e-commerce as well as electronic service provider. Etc. All these are the silent new aspects of this particular Act. Okay, all these are what? The new silent aspects of CPA Act. So the right answer will be D, all of the above. Okay, next. Next question is talking about as per COPRA 2019, person means. What does person means? Like in the, as per the KYC, the definition of the client and customer have been given differently. Similarly, as per the COPRA Act, what does a person means? And we have first option, person means an individual. Second, a firm, whether registered or not. Third, a Hindu undivided family. Fourth, a cooperative society. So out of these 4, what does person means under the COPRA 2019? A, B, C or D? So under this Act, a person can be, or person means your individual. Person means whether registered or not, a firm whether registered or not, and Hindu undivided family, a cooperative society. It means all of the above have been treated as a person under the COPRA Act. So individual, firm, registered or not, Hindu undivided family, cooperative society, association of persons. Apart from these 4, there will be associations of person. Will be also treated as a person here. Apart from association of person, any corporation, any corporation, or you can say any corporate or a body of individual will be there, and any artificial judicial person. They all will be the participant, or they all will be treated as a person under the COPRA 2019. So the right answer will be your D option. All are means person. So right answer will be your D option. Next question is talking about, do read it very carefully. N has purchased a draft from a bank favoring B. The draft is lost in transit, and for duplicate draft in lieu for the first bank needs some formalities to be completed by N. So can B file a consumer case against the formalities as it is delaying the payment to him? So can B file the case? And the options you have here: first, no, as he is not consumer of the bank and is not taking any service from the bank. No, as he has not paid the demand draft commission. Yes, as because of bank his payment is getting delayed. Yes, his money is lying in the bank. He is deemed an account holder of the bank. So what do you think? Which of the following is correct here? There will be yes or no. First, you have to decide that it will be a yes or no, that the B can make any kind of case, B can do any kind of case on a bank or not. So right, actually B can do the case. So A and B cannot be right. Yes, as because of bank his payment is getting delayed. No, actually he is deemed as account holder of a bank, and his money lying with the bank. That's why B can do the case on the bank. So yes, B can do, and the reason is because his money is with the bank. So right answer will be your D option. Right answer will be your what? D option. Okay, next. Next question is talking about here, dash means buying or selling of goods or services including digital product over digital or electronic network. So dash means what? Buying or selling of goods and services that include the digital product over the digital or electronic network. So first we have, it is e-commerce, electronic service provider, both A and B, none of the above. So which of the following you think is correct? What means buying or selling of goods or services that include digital products over the digital or electronic network? And the right answer, obviously, if you are using buying or selling of product that will be done electronically, it's a e-commerce. That will be your e-commerce. So right answer will be your A option. The right answer is A option, that is e-commerce. Okay, next. The Minimum Age for Consumer Protection Act is enacted to protect the manufacturing condition of the industries. A person to be eligible to be a member of a district commission is dash years. So what is the minimum age here? 30 years, 40 years, 35 years, 25 years. So simply the Minimum Age for Consumer Protection Act that is enacted to protect the manufacturing condition of the industry. So a person is eligible to be a member of district commission, but of which minimum age person will be allowed to become the member of a district commission. And the district commission also have to meet twice in a year, like the state commission have to. So right answer here will be your 35 years. The person's minimum age should be 35 years to become the member of the district commission. So right answer will be your C option. Okay, next question. Next question is talking about Central Consumer Protection Council, that is Central Council, having how many maximum numbers of members? So Central Consumer Protection Council having how many maximum numbers of members? So it has 10 members, 25 members, 36 members, 46 members. How many members should be there? So Central Consumer Protection Council, that is a central council, having how many number of members? So it is simply the central government has established this, like the state government has established, the central government has established this council. Who established this? The central government established this council. And this advice on promotion and protection of the consumer rights under this particular act. So CPC can have maximum how many members? They can have maximum 36 members. How many members can be there? 36 members can be there. So right answer will be C. And these 36 members will cover minister from the central government, state governments, member of parliament, department of central government, your chief commissioner, registrar, secretaries, etc., etc. All these will be covered under the maximum number of members of your central commission. Okay, so or you can call it a central council. Next, a person has bought a mixture grinder from a retailer its motor stops after 10 minutes, okay, of running. The liability for this defect will be of the dash. Whose liability it will be? Product manufacturer, trader, retailer, product service provider. Who will be liable here in this situation? So the product started working, you just started using it, after 10 minutes it stopped. So it's very obvious now, it is the defect from manufacturing. So the right answer will be product manufacturer. The liability of product manufacturer will be there because the product is defective. After 10 minutes it stopped working. So the right answer will be your A option. Okay, right answer is A. Now, next question is saying the tenure of mediator on the panel of a mediation cell is years. So simply the tenure of mediators on the panel of mediation cell is how many years? Is it 2 years? Is it 3 years? Is it 6 years? Is it 5 years? So what is the tenure of these mediators on the panel of your mediation cell? And the duration, the tenure will be your 2 years. How many years? It will be 2 years. So the right answer will be your A option. Okay, right answer will be your A option.